Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome back to another episode of Cities Skylines. We are playing green cities and we are filling this area up quite nicely. We've resolved a lot of traffic issues over the last few episodes and now things are looking great. No real issues anymore. This is pretty busy, so we might have to do something with this at some point. And that point is probably now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to upgrade that to the slightly wider 2x2, just so that we don't clog that up through that, just so we don't clog this up anymore. I believe I have added a signal here. So yeah, hopefully the two lanes will sort us out quite nicely and not end up with too much issues. I am a little worried that all of the traffic is just making this turn to actually go up and go in there. But anyway, the two lanes should give us a fair bit of capacity before there's any issues over here. We'll see. Okay, I'm not gonna get stuck into that too much. So what I've done over here, I've built in a little bit of a park over here, added a connection across to this side. I've also added a connection over here that allows access for these people to the train station to get all the way to this side. I'm quite keen to fill up the rest of this. I'm also quite keen to start filling up this a little bit more, and then I'm also quite keen to kind of stretch this out a bit, and make sure that this station over here actually has a little bit more demand, but it's got decent demand as it stands. We are struggling a little bit with residential demand, and that's largely due to industrial demand shortage. So what I'll do as a first instance is let's add a few pieces over here and over here and like that. Okay, let's have a quick look. What do we have? We've got a bit of a clinic over there that's sorting us out. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put in a crematorium. One of the larger ones, I think. That's like a large crematorium, a funeral home. That's actually not too bad. What is the city hospital? That's an asset, a large advanced crematorium. This is just some crematorium assets. Maybe I'm not going to do the assets. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just run this straightforward standard crematorium over here, because this can actually help us in both instances. So let me pop it in there. I think that's okay. Yeah, that's going to be decent. So that can help things out in this area and over there. Okay, what I was thinking is we've got a fair big demand that's doing that. The other arrangement that we could also do is we could bridge this across this way, but maybe rather over here. Bridge it across and actually provide an access point, but that's very close to the bridge. So we'll see what we do, but maybe we can do something over here and bridge it this way, get a bit of a loop and something in there. Yeah, that could be quite good. Okay, so I've added a bit of industrial over there. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to go up here and add a lot. Oh, I didn't need. Yes, so what I've done, I've actually changed this road to become a bit more of a boulevard, and I'm using the Bad Peanuts 4+1 asymmetrical, and this looks absolutely stunning. Look at that. That's exactly how you would have these kind of lane setups in reality. So I really like that. That's very good. So I'm using that through here, and you kind of flip over 2 to 3. So yes, so that works very well. So what I'm going to do, I am actually going to add some more connections on here and do a little bit more offices in this environment. What do we have over here? We have office around here. So what I'll do, I'm actually gonna add a stretch of office straight in there. That's a starting point. We can do a similar arrangement on this side. I'll grab a few roads, maybe something with a little bit. So let me run something straight through there. Yeah, that's pretty decent. We may. What we'll do is I'll actually turn that around. But what we'll do is let me run something like this, and then like that and like that, ooh, that's missing it. Sorry, let's just fix that, something like that, and we'll make sure to give it a little bit of walking room to this side. So just take off the snapping over here, and we'll see about tying this in over here and tying that in over there. Yeah, I could, yeah, I think that's okay. We'll just leave it like that. Okay, now what I want to do is let's just add a lot of office to this environment. I don't like what I'm getting over here. Why is it funny that way? We have actually got it on here, but I don't want that. I want this area to be actually fairly clear of it. So let me quickly show you that as a symmetrical one. So this is it, the 4+1. What I'm going to do is in this section I'm just going to do that. So now I flipped it around. Now see how perfect that works? That's brilliant. So now that actually, well, it's a little bit funny, but that's very standard. So now if you're moving straight through here, you're just doing that, and there's a dedicated lane for people turning. So that's really good. I want to grab this and see. Ooh, that's not great. Ooh, that's it. That's pretty much fixed, huh? No, I don't like it. I don't like it. Can we just redo this section? Okay, so we've got that, right? Now that's working. Now just give me a standard kind of normal road. And I'll do, let's just run it in here. Oh, snap it, please snap it. Forget about that. Let's snap it like this. So again with that craziness over there, snap it like that and snap it like that, and that fixes it. Okay, great stuff. I'll fix this one. Okay, now let's add a nice big piece of that, and even this and this and this. I'm not going to do that one, and I'm not going to do that section over there. Okay, so that gives us a fair bit to go on over here. Grab, if I just do, oh, come on, just like that. So that's going to tie in there. Okay, so we're getting a bit of office to pop in over here. That should hopefully help us out a little bit, get us a bit more residential demand. These guys need workers, so yes, of course, some more residential demand. Yeah, what I've done here is working wonders for that connection. So let's see about the spread of, ooh, what is that? That's low density though, isn't it? Or yeah, low density. That doesn't look very low density to me, but anyway, it's hotels. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I need to extend our arrangements. So I'm thinking something like this. Actually, let's give it a bit of a turn so we see how we okay, so let's do something like that. Give it a little bit of a turn, and then I'm going to tie it back in there, and that's going to be I can also, let's also link it up on this side. So that's pretty good. Now this is just going to be a lot more of this. So let's see about filling all of that. Okay, so we'll fill some residential in there, all the way along here. I think is good for residential. Maybe not that block right there. Those two's not going to work very well. Let's make sure to fill in the residential on there and there. This one I'll leave it be for now. Okay, so we've filled in a bit more residential over that side. This is filling in nicely. Let's get some water connections through here. Okay, that should help out a little bit. Yeah, it's probably good to run something through there. Good stuff. So we've got some residential and these offices coming in. Okay, so now if we say, I'm kind of gonna run this one straight through and see how that goes. So if we say something like that, and now we turn it in to run it straight up the middle here. Okay, yes, that's gonna work well. So let's tie these two together as best we can. Yeah, that's not bad. That feeds it straight in here. It's not a very direct, well, it feeds it straight in there. Let's just leave it at that. What I want to do though is let me upgrade these roads again, and this time take out the why do we not have power here? Are we out of power? Sorry, let's just check that before. Yeah, we're certainly out of power because it's raining. These aren't producing a lot. Do we have something over here? Yeah, this is producing power. Let's have a look. What other forms of power can we do? So because it's raining, our solar power generation is not great. So let's see, what else can we pop in there that is fairly good for us? So this is 640. We're pretty much at 640. So this is about 200k to build. We can easily afford it. We can just about afford its run. So let's move to nuclear power. Nuclear power is an interesting one because that in general needs to be close to the water. So what I'll do, if we want to do nuclear power, we'll need to make a bit of room for it over here somewhere, which is obviously also not great if we're looking at what we're trying to achieve in this area. It's intensive on water, so let's see. We can of course add nuclear power. Of course I don't want people living right next door to the nuclear power plant, and yeah, and I don't necessarily want to do it like this. It's a little bit weird to have a nuclear. So what we may do is, I'm actually wondering if I'm not, well, with all of these steep cliffs over here, we're not actually going to get close to the water, but I'm kind of wondering if I not make a little area over here for the nuclear power plant by itself, just something over here, but also you wouldn't necessarily see it in this kind of environment. How full is this? 143 inmates. That's great. Alternatively, what we could do is we could do a nuclear power plant in this region right here. So we can kind of do isolated nuclear power plant like this, and make it a nice park type of arrangement, and that's fairly isolated, close to water. I know we're not actually connecting onto the water, but that could do well. The only problem with doing that is that we don't actually currently have a road connection that goes over there. So maybe what we do is it's fairly easy to get a road connection from this side. Getting back across that side is going to be pretty difficult, and we don't actually have that maneuver. So what I could do is I could actually add that maneuver so that they can go back and do a bit of a cloverleaf setup. I'll have to claw this back a little bit in order to get that to work though, and we'll need to drop this down and tie in over here somehow. We'll see how we do that. Okay, so what I'm thinking we should do is we should probably drop this down. So I'm gonna do that using move it instead of rebuilding it, just because, well, we would have rebuilt it anyway. So I'm gonna bring that down a manageable amount, and then this one I want to be on the ground completely. Okay, and with that on the ground, and I'm also gonna grab this one, drop that. So what I'll need to do is I'll need to upgrade this section of road so that it is indeed, so see, that actually works well, right? That's there's nothing too wrong with that. The only issue that I have over here is I actually need to upgrade that to be the the ground version of it. So let's do that. See, that's good. How's this one? Yeah, this one's the ground version too. So let's do the ground version over there. That is pretty decent. So that's looking quite good. What I'm looking to do is to actually tie one out over here. That can't be the ground version of it. So to get something out of that. So if I go back to the assets, right, and what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to do it 2. I can't do 2 into 4. What we could do is we could go 2 into 3. So we could try and do a 2 into 3. I'm not sure this actually works. Oh, it does. It does indeed work. I would. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to delete this section right over here. And then let's grab that one, turn it. Is this actually going to work? Page up, page up. Well, that's too high. Look at that. Actually, maybe what's going to be easier to do is just to use Mover to drop these down. So I know some of you don't necessarily like the use of Move It, but in standard design, you would have this built to the right level. So let's. That's not what I want to do. I wanted to get that nice and straight. Now, can I just delete that? Actually, can I just take that out? Yeah, let's take that one out, and then all I want to do is drop this one down. Okay, so we've got the two like so. Yeah, let's just. I'm gonna try and get it as close as possible to something like that. Okay, let's go again, because we actually need to step down. That step down. This needs to step down, not as aggressively as that though. That is stepping down, that is stepping down, and then this is and get this one to step down. That's not stepping down. It looks a little bit weird. Yeah, you can't actually seemingly doing this on a ramp is not the greatest thing to do. Something like that. It needs to be fairly straight actually. So let's do something like this and just tie that back. Okay, that's kind of okay. So now what I wanted to do from here is actually tie in 2 lanes this way and 2 lanes that way, and you can split a 3 into 2 and 2. That works well. So can we, let's see if we have a 3 into 2 and 2. I don't think we have a 3 into 2 and 2. 3 into 1 and 2, 3 into 4 into 2 and 2, but you don't have 3 into 2 and 2, do you? No, not at all. So we will do that ourselves. So let me grab this one, and now this, and let's grab. Okay, let's actually let's tie in this first. Okay. That might be a little tight, so what I'll do is I'm gonna trim back that just a bit, and what we'll do is we will tie that in like so, and we'll see about what we can do about that as an arrangement. Let's have a look at this, and now let's drop it down. Okay, so something like that. So you split that like so. Okay. Okay, we need to straighten this up quite substantially. Okay, so that is the kind of arrangement. It's of course, oh yeah, that's perfect. Let's just make sure we straighten that up. So that's the arrangement that you would get. Of course, I don't have the line markings in here, but what you would have is line markings. So 3, so these two go into that side and these two go into this side, and that works out quite well. What I want to make sure we do is, yeah, so that just looks a little bit funny over there, but other than that it works quite well. Yeah, that's still in the air. This point here is on the ground. That point, let me just have a little look like that, just so that's a little bit like so. That's okay. Now whether we can come over the top here is going to be a little bit more interesting, but anyway, that's our highway connection to allow the straight movement through there. Do I need to move it a little bit more though? Okay, like that and like that and like that. There we go. Wouldn't mind that to not have that little kink in there and just to go straight into there. Can we? Ooh, we can actually get that to line up a bit better. Oh yeah, man, that's working. Okay, don't want to do too much with that. That's okay. So our line marking sucks a little bit over here, but apart from that it should do the trick. So that's a pretty standard connection. The other thing we can do is I can bring this one back and we can actually have one running in that direction. So that at least gets you across. Okay, so with that in mind, we of course need to now do a I am thinking we drop this down to 1 lane and then we add the 2 lanes from this side. That's going to be easier. So let me grab this one. I want it kind of in parallel with this thing, but I want to make sure that it kind of goes over the top of this. Okay, so let's do that. I am thinking that should cross it. We'll keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just upgrade this section, or downgrade it to be more accurate, like so. And now what we need to do is we need to tie this one in there, and I don't necessarily think I'm gonna. Okay, so let me do that, and then we'll straighten it up using move fit. So straighten that up for us, please. I'll bring in that one a little bit like so. Straighten that up a little bit more. Yeah, so what we need is to change that section, so that's fine. So now this one we would like to change into a similar arrangement that we have over here. So I probably need to trim that back and have a 3x2 over here. Or actually what we'll do is we'll upgrade this to 3, because at some point I believe we'll actually have to do the loop on this side. Okay, so let's leave that as is, and what we then do is we grab the 3, right, and we run it from here, and I think that'll do the trick for us. Let's grab that, see if we can yeah, that's not exactly going to work for us, but that is okay. So now as a principle that'll work, but it looks a little bit funny. That is way too close, so we might have to tweak that a little bit. The other one I need to do is I need to put in the loop on this side. So let me trim that back and get our 1 lane out of here. Okay, something like that. Let's start dropping it a little. Oh, actually, yeah, and and that's not gonna work. That's way too tight. Okay, yeah, so that's, sorry guys, that's gonna be a little bit tougher to do. So we need to do, what we need to do is something like this. But we could actually claw that back a little bit and start it way over here. So let me do that. Let's quickly downgrade this section. Ooh, too much. Oh, I see. So you know what we're gonna do? I'm just gonna pull that back. Pull that back to right about there. How does that work? Yeah, something like that should do the trick. Okay, now let's get that back. Now let's grab this. I think that's about appropriate. Now go into this one, like that. Ooh. Now we just need to remember we'll have to actually run it underneath there. So something like so. Yeah, that's actually quite good. Now we can run it underneath like that. That's no problem. Then we'll just join these two together and join that over there. So that gives us that one. Let's pull this back a little. So we'll have to run it around this edge. So let's grab that. Okay. Like that. And like that. Yeah, so that's the clover over there. Okay. So yeah, now we're building our own clover leaf from a trumpet, which is probably an interesting experience. Oh, and we're running out of time. So let's make sure we bring that back a little. And let's grab, oh, we definitely need a 2-into-1. So grab me my 2-into-1 over here. 2-into-1, and put that on the ground for me, please. Tie that in there. Okay, and we'll do a 1-1-into-2, like so. That's pretty good. That's pretty decent over there. And now all we do is tie in this arrangement right here. I might just tweak it a little bit into this so it's a little bit more straight over there. Yeah, perfect. Now let's hook these up. And let's make sure to hook that one in there nicely. Right, look at that. So that's our join over there, and that's our clover. It looks pretty poor right here. I might tweak that in between episodes a little bit. So that now actually gives us this as an arrangement, and that actually gives it's a clover with a directional towards go that way, which is probably not what we want. We probably want the directional on this side, so I might tweak this again at some point. Anyway, let's quickly finish off this section. And yeah, so no power plant just yet. So drop it down like say that, and then drop it down like this, and we'll just swap those around ever so quickly. I'll grab that straight tool and we'll run it straight into there, and now we've got our access road to this side. I need to tweak this a little bit more, to be honest, so I might fix that up, but this is the general intent. I'm going to add some kind of an intersection over here to feed this area. We'll see. Might be right in, right out, to be honest. If it's just we'll see what we do. Might be a right in, right out arrangement over here. So actually what I might do, what we didn't tie in is this one. I need to bring this forward a little bit to tie it into that. And yeah, and we needed to get rid of that and split it up a little bit. Okay, well, what I'll do is I'm going to put a cut in this episode, and I'm not going to tweak it a lot. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to finish it up in the next episode so that you can actually see how I do that, if you're interested with that, in that. Else you can just kind of fast forward if you don't like that too much. Okay, so I'm ExactChaos. This has been Cities Skylines Exactly. If you've liked this episode, please give me a thumbs up. Leave some comments down below. What do you think? Do you like the fact that we're doing our own interchange? This doesn't look too good. I will tweak that a little bit. Maybe I'll tweak this in between episodes, and we'll just finish off the rest. So I'm ExactChaos, as mentioned, and yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.